up, guys? Sardo back again, also known as the Black Gentleman. And today I have Iron Trends IRV-01 Star Blade. The front of the box looks pretty good too. It really reminds me of the Unicron deal, you know, from G1, with it being reformatted and everything. So yeah, turn to the back. Here's the back, as you can see here. All very simplistic. You know, basically, if you follow this thing online like I have, you basically seen everything to see. So, yeah, it's basically what you get in the box. First accessory, you get a saber sword. And the reason I'm saying a saber sword because this is actually a smaller version. This is meant for the smaller bot. So this is for saber. It looks really good. Nice silver paint for the blade, red paint for the hilt, gold paint here on the side here. I think the handle's even painted. I think a gunmetal. I believe it's paint. So yeah, it's all in all, this looks very good. While we're on the topic of saber, you also get these two extra pair of hands here. They have mostly just like this splayed out hands, and they both look really good. They both got that nice gunmetal paint covered throughout. Very nice. Got a little gloss finish. And both are the same, just opposite pairs. Also, I guess it's kind of an accessory. It's actually the back landing gear for Saber's jet mode or spaceship mode. You just plug it in between the legs, which I'll be showing you too. It's got wheels that actually roll, and that's about it. Also get this much larger hilt. Now this is for Starsaber himself. This thing, I think it is painted. I think this is. I believe it's paint. Although I think, maybe it's not. I think it's more this plastic, that swirly plastic. But this handle, this thing is so malleable. Like it's kind of weak. You can almost kind of bend it with your hand, and this thing is scary. So I'm gonna need you guys to pray over me as I go through these forms that I don't break this damn thing. You get these hole fillers. I may eventually get it. I may eventually use these, but only after I'll probably finish with the review. I may go back in and fill in some holes with these. But it is kind of thoughtful that you get them. Starsaber's blade is connects to the front of the spacecraft, and it's nice. It looks like a giant letter opener, and it's covered in nice silver paint, nice details inside the blade. See, nice little blood groove here, little etchings here. Let's give it a really nice detail. Very nice double-edged blade. Here is. Or Starsaber. I'm just gonna call him Starsaber because it's too hard to keep going with these third-party names. But here is Starsaber in his alt mode. This isn't how he normally comes packaged, but believe me when I tell you this, at least on my copy, the tolerances are fairly tight. I transformed it twice now, and it's gotten a little bit easier, a little bit looser, so it's not quite as scary as it was. But I don't want to transform this thing too many more times than I have to. And I'll, you know, I gotta get in a way it's going to become part of the negative of the review, maybe the positive of the review. We'll just have to wait till we get there. But yeah, here he is in his alt mode, and he is massive. Before I even get to just talking about it proper, I'm gonna go ahead and jump to a comparison right now. I don't have the G1 or the MP Starsaber, the original. I think the MP24, but I do have Planet X's. IEW version. This is Planet X Katos. Here's that version right here. It's like I said, it's not meant to scale because, you know, one is obviously MP, one is more chug. But here's how they look together. One being IEW, one being G1. Oh man, it's huge. It's breathtaking. I think this thing looks absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. And it was worth the wait. Just in terms of looks. Paint, this looks great. I'll tell you guys what. While I'm still on the accessory frame of mind, I'm going to go ahead and unplug this. This is a Starsaber's rifle. And it too is covered in gunmetal. Nice, very nice sculpt. Looks very good. For the smaller robot Saber to hold it, you use this handle here. For Starsaber, you just pull back like so. And here's the handle for that. I think overall this is nice in itself, and it has storage on the back. Unlike the sword, which has no storage, which is kind of a bummer actually, because the original toy I think has storage. But it looks really good. And another thing, well, I don't know if you want to call it an accessory per se, but you do get his helmet here, which normal G1 just sit on top of here. It's not really been held on by anything. You just kind of plop it on top, and there it is. I'm gonna take it off because it's gonna fall anyway. So yeah. Also, this is the peg that holds it on. Well, not a peg, but the piece of plastic that folds out to hold it on. Mine's kind of loose, so it comes off when it basically when it wants to. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fold it back down because you know it's gonna fall off anyway. So let's see here. So there we go. It does like G1 just fold down to become kind of almost kind of a Macross-esque like a turret on the back. So there's that. And it has red paint for the helmet, gold paint for the crest, lashy bow crest, and the faceplate is silver. But we'll get more into it once I go into the robot mode. We'll go ahead and put it into the side now. Speaking of paint, almost everything you see on here is actually paint. These guys went a long way to paint everything. Like even this gold paint here, gunmetal, white paint, more paint, translucent blue plastic, more gunmetal here, gunmetal for the guns themselves. I mean, this thing is paint to 9 yards. More gunmetal, silver, light blue, white, more white blue. This thing is truly covered in paint. This side profile, you get more gunmetal here and more blue here. On mine, there is a little bit of, it's not perfect. There's a little bit of slop. If I get the camera in here, you can kind of see the lines are not as crisp as they should be. But for the most part, it's just on the arms when with the lining, you know. So it, you know, I'm not gonna cry over it. It's not the first release. Hopefully in the future they will do better. In the future we'll have to hold to a higher standard. But you're gonna get tired of using the word gunmetal because there's more gunmetal here. It's got a lot of gunmetal. Like I said before, everything you see is just damn near paint. Just have landing gear. Let me move this down. You have landing gear here on both on the front sides, and you have some on the feet back here. As far as articulation goes for the alt mode, the wings do move up, most for transformation, as do these fold down. These again on both sides, but most part this is for transformation. As far as the front of the spacecraft goes, cockpit does open, and you have the Brain of Courage inside, which is Starsaber's smallest form. Or I guess at this point he's not a Starsaber, he's just the Brain of Courage. He's a Brain Master and all. And this too is painted up very nicely. It does have articulation. Just bring the focus. Focus, damn it. Focus. Yeah, you can move the arms like so. And it's very, very loose. But just this is honestly, this is the only thing about the figure that is really loose. But you know, you can do that. You can get it all the way up, all the way down. And he's painted up pretty good with a blue, red, yellow, white. And he just sits in the cockpit like you saw. I'm going to put him to the side for the moment. And if you want to dislocate this, it's clipped on from the inside. Sorry for that cut there. When you hook him in, he hooks in from the inside here. Let me pick this up if I can show you guys. There are two clips from the inside. If I get my hand in there, it's kind of hard. It's like a clip right here and a clip right here that hook the V-Star to the Saber jet, which is right here. So you kind of got to take your finger on the inside and just kind of push up. That's how you get it off. It's kind of giving me a little trouble there, so I had to do it off camera. I didn't want to bore you guys with the struggle too much. Once you disconnect it, all you gotta do is fold your wings out like so, and you can open up the landing gear just right here. It's easier sometimes you just split the top and then fold it back in and it pulls it out itself. Now go back to that landing gear I told you guys about earlier. Let me pull it out. It's just right here. You just gotta do lift up your back wings here and separate like so. This right here is going to plug into here. So there we go. All right, now you got landing gear. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and straighten up these wings back here. I'm gonna rotate these, like so. I'm doing it right. There we go. You can just pull these right here out. all separated from the V-Star. This is the Saber jet. As I saw before, the cockpit does open. If you want, you can put the brain, the Courage back in, or who I want to call the real Starsaber. I mean, he's pretty secure, although he kind of rattles around like the seatbelt really in there to hold him. But yeah, it's a nice little jet. Except for I don't have the original MP, so I don't have anything really to compare it to. Here he is with Siege's, Siege, Earthrise Starscream. See how they look. I think that's, although not MP, like I said, it's not bad. And while we're on topic of Starscreams, let's take him out of the way. Here is Plan X's version of Starscream. And again, I don't think that looks too bad either. And I gotta thank my fellow Drifticon, Enewtabie, who gave me a really great deal on this guy, who I plan to review also as well. Here he is with a MP car. This is a hot rod. Just so we can say we did that. Now, as for this thing, Articulation, similar to the larger Starsaber form itself, the wings do move up and down, both sides, and the wings bend here. Mostly for transformation, but they do bend. Same as the back wings. Like so, and you can rotate 360 out of those, and it's the same on both sides. And when you have the landing gear in the back installed, it does roll okay. Not the best, but okay. But without the Brainmaster of Courage, it's just a lifeless transceptor. So let's go ahead and pop that in now. All you gotta do is open his chest up like so, and unceremoniously just toss his little ass in there. There we go. As you can see, he's in there, and you just close the door, and that's where he'll be, just rattling around in there. But yeah, this thing too, Saber, is painted very, very, very nice. These colors really pop. I don't know if it's coming through on my camera that well, but this white in color in here, this actually is like a white, kind of a pearl color. So it's not like a bone white, and it looks really good. You have some hollowness right here. This is kind of a negative, but the hand had to go somewhere when you fold it. So, you know, plus this is Saber. No one cares. It's all about Starsaber. But since we're on Saber, let's concentrate on Saber. Back to the paint itself. It looks really nice. More like gunmetal here for the wrist, gunmetal between the arms, kind of a white silver paint on the chest. Actually, the whole thing itself is blue paint. This all looks very, very nice, very exquisite. Gunmetal here for the sides. This little piece here that keeps wanting to come off is painted gold. More than a pearlescent white on the thigh. More gold paint here. Gunmetal for the feet. Detailed wonderfully, mind you. Even at the bottom of the feet look really great. Red paint here. Gunmetal hands. I mean, the whole thing just looks great. The back is basically just kibble. But, you know, that jet and spacecraft had to go somewhere, right? So, yeah. The face itself looks very nice too. Silver paint for the face. Translucent blue plastic for the visor. More gold here from the crest. Speaking of the head, it looks really good. Very, very, very much G1-esque. Looks very nice. And it's related also, once the thing becomes Starsaber, it will become the head. So all articulation that this head has is basically articulation that Starsaber has. And as such, you do get a 360, at least for the Saber mode. Though it is very tight. And I had it one time before, here we go. Because sometimes I want to fight, and it can go around. I've done it before, trust me. But it's so tight, I'm not going to make it do it. Because sometimes the tightness is scary. And you're going to hear the word tight a lot. Just get ready for that. But the head can look up pretty good. Has a little bit down. Not a lot, but enough. But given his chest is kind of big, what can you really see anyway, I guess. As far as the arms go, they're on the hinge, and they can go all the way up to the head. Like so, which is pretty good. Actually, really good. It can spin, but you can't get full 360 anything because of the backpack here, which is kind of sad, but okay. Bend at the elbow. Wrist to spin full 360. So there is that. The waist does have articulation. It can spin, but not a full 360. because of the backpack. And again, as far as the legs go, you can kick out. Yeah, God, it's tight. There we go. Kick out that far. You can bend at the knee, like so. And sadly, you can't kick his own ass because of the backpack. So if that was a deal breaker, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. As for the feet, they do bend, and they're just on a hinge. Nothing, by the way, I'm not gonna say now, nothing is ratcheted on this figure or the bigger figure. It's weird that they're relying simply on really tight tolerance, and I do mean super tight. So there are some areas on this figure I've actually taken the Phillips screwdriver and just kind of loosened it, just a teeny little bit. So I'm gonna break the damn thing. But yeah, no ratchets. We're gonna see how that plays out over the course of this thing's life. But overall, articulation is decent for what the figure is. You don't spend a whole lot of it, but you know, you get your basics. Matter of fact, I think you can get the full trowel. I think this is right. There we go. So he can't. There we go. He can open up. So there you go. You do get that. Can't say someone didn't give you that. Alright. I'm gonna bring that gun back in. They had before on top of the V-saber. I mean the V-jet. V-star. Sorry. Bad my words. But you want to keep this handle out, and he should be able to hold that. He supports the weight pretty good. Now, bring that sword back in. This is kind of where things get a little dicey. I urge you, take your time. Take your time, take your time, take your time. Cause it is tight. It's kind of the start like this. And sometimes the hand comes off, which is fine, because you do have spare hands. So you just want to focus. Kind of get that in there and just go real slow with it. In fact, I don't want to go all the way in. I'm just gonna stop right there with this and put because it's hard to get out. It really is. So please believe me when I tell you he can hold a sword. There we go. So that is an option. I'll come to actually kind of like these kind of hands. I like articulation in my hands, but when you're going to have like really dynamic poses with hands, I really the hands be going to be molded, kind of like an SH Figure Arts figure, kind of like that. So that's a molded hand. I don't hate it all. Here's a hodgepodge of figure comparisons. I really didn't know what to grab, so I just grabbed some MP and third-party stuff. So here he is with Sideswipe, MP10, Optimus Prime, and IRV MMC IRV Deadlock. Just for fun, here he is with a Siege Voyager, or we all know this is really a deluxe Shockwave. In the words of Starsaber, it's time for justice transform. I'm gonna go ahead and change the background now because he's so big. It's gonna be hard to do anything using this background. In case anyone's wondering, and I want to give a shout out to two people. One's a company, one's a person. One is Kato. Kato from Katos Collections. He had bought a Fexthobby background of this kind of sci-fi hangar type area, and I thought it was so cool that I wanted to get one for myself. So here, here it is. I'm not going to show it off while I have it out still. Definitely one set to expand it, but right now this is it, and I think it looks wonderful. And I want to thank Fexthobby themselves. I'm gonna put a link for them down here in the description as well. To thank them, because this is a really cool setup. Too bad I'm getting ready to change it up now, but it's a really cool setup. It's like, I swear, it's like kind of combiners, like these taller figures. They're so hard for me to review. I got to figure out a better system of doing things. But while we're here, let's try to tidy this thing up. I got to point out one grievance now. It's not even for lack of ratchets. It's the feet. The feet, I don't know, they kind of suck. They do kind of suck. I mean, just recently I had an issue where my foot came off the rail. I don't know if it was my own error or factory error, but I got it back on, no big deal. But the ankle articulation, like they have like kind of like Gundam feet, which I like Gundam feet, but the way this leg is cut right here, like it kind of hinders the articulation. So as you saw I was saying before, You get ankle rotation. I mean ankle tilt, but it ain't but so good because of, you know, this right here. So you get a little bit of this where he's standing, whatnot, but you kind of see it's not exactly even. See what I'm saying? I mean, he looks so like he's always kind of on a tilt, kind of. And he has heels, which, you know, kind of go back. You know, for transformation purposes, they can go like this and back. That's about it. I wish it kind of go further back, but yeah, it is what it is. I still like him. I mean, overall, but I want to. I feel like I need to bring up that one grievance like right now. But yeah, okay. Let's move the camera up. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about him. Man, he looks wonderful. Even the head here. This is the helmet you can put on the saber's head. You can still kind of see his mouth under there. I haven't perfected getting the helmet all the way down just yet, but yeah, except for it still uses the saber's head, saber's neck. You can still get a full 360, but like I said, the tolerance is tight. Like I said, we can almost get all the way around, but then it wants to kind of stop you. So I'm not gonna do it on mine. As far as the antenna goes, they do move up and down on the swivel. Antenna is kind of like a little loose here, but this move transformation is actually okay. The eyes are, if you can kind of see them, like a nice kind of a powder blue, and they come off really good. I would actually kind of prefer the pearlescent paint. I thought they shine better, got more life, but it does look pretty good. It actually looks better off camera, believe it or not. As for the shoulders, I put 2 All About insignias there, the high A's and G1. These aren't the best stickers. I would recommend maybe using one with a white back so that they come through better. I'll probably end up peeling these off. And all the paint that was here before comes through wonderfully with the pale gold on the chest, the white for the wings here. Actually, the gunmetal, everything was great. More gold, red paint. Even this is blue paint. Right here in the joint itself, that's die cast, but I believe that's gunmetal. Gold for the knees, blue, gunmetal here on the top of the foot. All comes together really good. Even the back itself, let's turn around. It cleans up really good. Pull the camera out again. I think all in all, it makes for a really clean, really clean bot. And that's always good. Now, for the articulation, I already did the head. Show you guys the arm. Keep in mind, everything on this thing is super tight, and most articulation you can get 360s out of. I'm just not gonna force it, but I have seen pictures that you can do it. The arms, I won't get this out of the way here. And the shoulder blade itself, you can move this whole piece of plastic up here, give you a little room so you can wiggle. So you can kind of get out of his way, which is good. The arm can go all the way up. Say for the tolerances are super tight. I've been messing with this thing most of the day, but it's still tight. It can go up about that high. It can maybe go a little higher, but like I said, well, I don't really want to force it. So, you know, you guys got to be careful with that. It does have a bicep swivel. Get the shoulder out of the way here. It does have it, as you can see, very tight. But I don't know if it can go full 360. I don't want to push it. As you can see, here in the and it's all die cast in here in the forearm here. You gotta be careful because right here I've already kind of touched the sides. I already rubbed some paint off, so like I said, be very careful. But the articulation is there. As far as an elbow goes, it's double. You got to bend. You got to bend here and bend here. So there you go. So that's double elbow bend, which is really good for sword poses. Get that back down. There you go. One thing about posing this thing, again, I can't stress enough, be careful. But at the same time, don't be afraid of it. Don't show fear. Just be careful. And about the same on the other side as well. You just pull these flaps up. If need be, get your spudger. That's why a lot of times I use. Arm go up about that high without any problems. Rotate right here. Just be very careful because you will As you can see, you will grind the paint right in here. So just be careful, be mindful of that. And as for the hands, which are also very, very, very articulated, actually better than Civil Warrior. They let's see, let's move the thumb out first. Thumb is on the ball joint. You can see you can spin. Each finger has its own hinge. I mean, each tip is a hinge. Tip here and tip there, so you get thumbs up pretty good. All four fingers, all on the hinge. So for maximum possibility. Also, another thing I like Civil Warrior, they splay out, and I really, really, really dig that. As you can see, and the hands can spin full 360, which is also good. These were super tight too, but I messed with the hands so much, actually got them feeling pretty good. That's one thing about this figure. To get it to feel really good, I think you're gonna have to mess with it quite a bit till you get to the point where it's not quite as tight. So also, moving on, with the arms out of the way, he has a waist rotation. I believe you can get 360 out of this. I believe you can, but it's very tight, and be very careful. I'm gonna spin until I feel like I don't want to spin anymore. So about that much, it gets kind of tight. So I'm gonna stop and go about that far right here. Start to get tight again, so I'm gonna stop. So you got that. Like I said, well, I believe it's 360. I'm not sure. All right. As for the also one of the most favorite things in the world, you have a ab crunch, and that is a damn good ab crunch. Very good for posing. And back ab crunch. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, right there. I know I score things higher with ab crunches, but it's got a back ab crunch too, and that's toleranced actually perfectly. Even with the die cast on here, that's well toleranced. It's not too tight, not too loose. That's just right. I call that the Goldilocks ab crunch. Now, if you move these hip skirts out of the way, you can go forward and back here. We can come on down to the legs. The legs are super tight too, but I mess with them quite a bit, so I can get a little more out of them. And that's the key too, like I said before, take your time with the figure. Stretch them out. Like a Zombieland, limber up. Alright, now legs, it can kick out that far. As you heard right in here, I know we say there's no ratchet. There is a slight ratchet in the leg in here. Very slight though. You know, you guys kind of heard, I hope. Oh, now I don't hear it. So I thought I heard ratchet. Alright, as for the knee, get a bend like so. And because of transformation, you need kind of a double bend here at the thigh, as you can tell, which is like perfect, right? And we spoke on the feet. They do articulate going left and right. It's not the best due to the plastic here. As far as toe goes, it does bend like so. Mostly for transformation, but it does bend. And the heel too does bend, mostly for transformation. So also, let's see how far the leg goes back. Not that far, but enough because the leg bends, so he can't kick himself in the ass. So that's more than Saber can do. Alright. That's tight. I'm kind of wondering too, how long will this thing stay tight? You know, you don't want it to be too tight, but you want it to be tight enough since you don't have the luxury of ratchets. Alright, now let's try to get that full trowel. Let's see if we can do it. There we go. Showing everything off so he can get full trowel. That's good. Alright, so that basically covers articulation. And with that ab crunch, I say is damn good articulation. I just wish the feet could be better. Bringing the pistol back in, or rifle, you just want to flip the bigger handle out, like so. Using the rail system on the hand, you just slide right in, which is, I have to say, mighty easier than that damn sword. And here he is holding his pistol. Let me get that on camera so you guys can see. And you see he does that just wonderfully. And when you don't want him to hold it, kind of like in his alt mode, slide back out. And see, change it to this end. Right here again. Either one of these two holes. And it stores in there like so. If you want, you can even aim it kind of an angle so you don't have to see it. But, you know, that's something you can do with it, just to get it out of the way. Okay. Now let's move on to that accursed sword. This is the front of the jet, which will become the hilt for the sword. I got my spudger. Just go ahead and go around the seams here and pop that open, like so. Insert here is on a double hinge, so it's very easy to get out of the way. As for the blade, you just grab it, fall in this hole here, and these locking points here. I lock in about that much, and there you have this very nice sword. In terms of handles, like I said, well, I like this one because it's longer, so you can like actually hold it in both hands, or at least simulate it. You do have another handle, sorry, in the sword. Just pop this open, like so, and open this up. There you go. And rotate this out if you want to use this handle. And you close it back up. And you can use that handle if you want to. But I think overall you meant to use this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reopen this back up, fold this back in, and close it up for a second. Thanks to Larkin, I learned a little trick of putting the sword in his hand. Makes things a little bit easier. It wasn't quite as hard this time, Mike. Kind of like Larkin from Larkin Lair said before, the more you do it, the easier it gets. All you gotta do is just clip this part on, and it's way easier that way. Trust me. On this sword, in case you're wondering, yeah, you can get it go down a little further than this, but me personally, I don't want to because it's tight enough. Like I said, the tolerance is very tight, and I'm gonna want to take that sword out eventually. Maybe repose it. So I'm not gonna kill myself getting it back out again. But yeah, he holds it really good. It's a big one. It's a definitely big sword. Soon to be shelf mates. Here he is with MP10 Optimus Prime, God Jinrai, and I think he scales pretty good with these guys. I know when it comes in terms of Jinrai, Super Jinrai by himself, I think he's just like a hair taller than him. But you know, when in his God Jinrai mode, you know, he's sure he's gonna be bigger. And just for fun, here he is with some more Fexthobby guys. Here he is with Overlord, Daredevil Evil, and Scourge from RID. Arch Enemy, I think his name is. Yeah, this is for fun mostly. But man, the starsaber, man, he's no slouch. Definitely a big boy. And for that one last comparison, here I have back Planet X Cadmus IEW starsaber. Show you how they go together. It's kind of cool to have the IEW Dark Evangelist with his more heroic G1 counterpart. Only thing bad is scale, but he's not an MP. No, he was never meant to be. He'd be more like I guess by today's standards, he'd be like a super articulated, large leader class. So, but it is kind of cool to see two interpretations together. I almost wish I had a G1 and a MP24 to get the full, thing. For final thought, even with some of the grievances I have for this thing, I love it. I really do. I love the scale of it. I love the proportions of it. I even love I can't say exactly G1, stylized, maybe Studio Ox G1, but I love it. I hope it holds up without the ratchets. But anyway, for the paint, sculpt, articulation, minus those feet, I love it. I give it a full recommend. I would say, please, for the love of God, be careful. This thing is tolerance so friggin' tight. I would hate to hear anybody break anything. I've already heard stories about people breaking the sword handle here. I just say take your time and be cautious. Don't be afraid of it, because, you know, fuck it, it's a toy. But still be cautious. It's an expensive toy, nonetheless. Check out my fellow Drifticons. I have the links down here below, as I always do. If you're not watching, you're missing out. Also, if you haven't, subscribe to me as well. As anyone knows, I've been posting my videos. I'm trying to get to that magical number of 500 before the end of the year. And I can't do it without you guys. And I appreciate every one of you guys for getting me this far. So for everybody's watching, thank you so much. I know this is probably a longer video, but I had a lot to talk about. This has been Sardo, also known as the Black Gentleman, out here doing God's work, reviewing these figures. Until next time, peace out.